Hi everyone, I'm here with Idris Musti, the principal of Excel in Key Subjects, and we're just talking about EBac and its implications for children and students being educated at the moment. So could you tell us what EBac is, please, Idris?
Right. What EBac is the English baccalaureate. It is to measure performance at GCSE level. Before it, what performance in terms of how well a student has done at the age of 16, what is used to measure it at the present, or I suppose up till 3 months or so ago, was the number of GCSE they achieved, the number of A to C, A star to C grades they achieve in English, maths, and possibly science subjects. What it used to be that the English, the GCSE that students achieve, they have to achieve 5 grades A to C in English, maths, including English, maths, and science. The new government has changed the yardstick in which success is measured. What the EBac, which has been introduced, is saying is that a student has to have at least a grade C in English, also in mathematics, and in 2 science subjects, in 1 modern or ancient language, French, German, Spanish, Latin, or any other language. And in addition to that, they have to have it in either history or geography.
Okay.
The whole idea behind it is to favor traditional subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Before the EBac, many schools used to play games in terms of getting, well, in the process of trying to get their position up in the league table, many schools used to play games. There were such qualifications which gave people 4 GCSE grades, which you wouldn't believe. At a point, there was some sort of IT course, ICT course, which is actually equivalent to 4 GCSE grades. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's actually plain fraud. The new EBac is placed emphasis on traditional subjects, mm-hmm. and that is why it says for a student to pass through the EBac criteria, they have to achieve at least a C grade in English, maths, 2 science subjects, also 1 language, and also either history or geography.
Sure. So it sounds like a return to let's say more traditional subjects for children and pupils.
Yes, it is. A lot of emphasis have been these days on subjects that are not seem to be traditional and do not stretch young people enough, such as film studies, photography, I suppose one could count media studies and so on to that. And what worries me is that young people who are perfectly capable are still shying away from taking traditional subjects, even
Sure.
though they are capable of doing it.
Sure.
I think it is very good. The introduction of the EBac, I think, is very good for young people because they are able to study a wider variety of subjects.
Mm-hmm.
At present, in terms of performance on the of students, it is unbelievable that even at grammar schools, mm-hmm. only less than 35% of students meet the criteria for the EBac at present.
Okay.
And nationally, that figure is 15%. Only 15% of students in the country meet it.
So when you say that only 35% or 15% nationally meet the criteria, what are the criteria for the EBac? Is it the traditional subjects you mentioned earlier, or?
Indeed, the criteria. What
Mm-hmm.
the EBac says for a student to pass the EBac barrier,
Mm-hmm.
that student has to achieve at least a C grade in English, mathematics, 2 science subjects,
Okay.
Either history
Mm-hmm.
or geography, and also one language, modern or ancient language, French, German, Spanish, Russian, Chinese, Latin, one language.
So these are subjects they would take between 14 and 16?
Yes, that's right. The GCSE course itself is a 2-year course, which
Okay.
they start at the age of 14, 15. and they finish it at 16. So
Okay.
what the government is saying is that to get the EBac, you have to get at least a C grade in those subjects.
And so the EBac sounds like an alternative to GCSEs. Do you think this is something to be encouraged, or it's better, or do you think that it's a case of giving people choice?
Well, the EBac is GCSE.
Okay.
It is GCSE. What it's saying is that at GCSE level, students have to achieve at least a
These
grade
core-
C in
sure.
these subjects.
Sure, sure.
One shouldn't confuse the EBac with the International Baccalaureate,
Okay.
which is now embraced in British schools.
Sure.
The English Baccalaureate, which is the EBac, is asking students to achieve grades A star to C in
Sure.
certain traditional GCSE subjects.
Sure.
That's it. That is what it's saying.
Sure. And you think, going back to your point about only, I think it was 15% of students are eligible for the EBac nationally, do you see this figure rising over the coming years?
At present, there are nationally about 15% of students who are able to meet the criteria that is stipulated by the EBac. Even in traditional grammar schools,
Sure.
the figure is 35%, about 35%. Now, yes, I do see it rising.
Okay.
There is a lot of concern. Some people think it is rather elitist. I don't agree with it. Because, I mean, thinking about the fact that in grammar schools where we have bright students, only 35% are achieving it. Not because 35% are the only 35% of students are capable of achieving it. That isn't the reason. The reason is because people are not stretched, and
Sure.
schools are not compelled to offer these traditional subjects. Up to about, I don't know, up to less than 10 years ago, modern languages used to be compulsory. Students used to have to do at least one modern language.
Sure.
And it really beggars belief to say that now you don't have to do languages.
language, sure.
You don't have to do either history or geography.
Sure.
It's always been the case that a student has to do English, maths, and the science subjects.
Sure.
But I think it's also good to make young people more rounded, that they have to do the traditional humanities, such as history or geography, and also that they have to do languages. I think in Britain we can do better by knowing a little bit more about other languages.
Sure. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your time.